Hey you guys, I am in Palo Alto right now, but we can't ignore what's going on in Florida. As you can see, even the news station on here is talking about the impacts of Hurricane Ian. And I made a video about 3 weeks ago about the Tesla Solar Roof, and many of you are asking me for an update now that Hurricane Ian has impacted so many parts of Florida. So even though I'm here at my hotel in Palo Alto awaiting AI Day, I did want to reach out to my friend down in Florida with the Tesla Solar Roof to get an update from him. So here is some of our conversation. Because I've had a couple people ask me how, obviously how your roof has done. I mean, there were like some people asking before, when they saw that I made the video, how is that going to hold up in Florida weather? Now we've obviously experienced some Florida weather. So I'm going to mute myself so that we can hear your response really well. So just kind of explain what all has gone on for you.
We've certainly had a lot of rain.
Many Tesla Solar Roof and Powerwall owners are talking about how their energy products performed on Twitter. And look at these pictures, for example. Kelly Roofing, this is a roofing company based in Southwest Florida that also participates in Tesla's third-party solar roof installer program, shared these images. Apparently, the Tesla Solar Roof stood up to Hurricane Ian with 155-mile winds and a 10-foot storm surge. So this Powerwall in this photo was underwater for hours and is still working perfectly.
We had nearly 24, almost 48 hours of rain, and then high winds pretty much yesterday because I was on both ends of the storm. So the eye passed right over me pretty much. So we had quite a bit of water in the front yard, but it's died down, excuse me. It's died down, drained back. So, but I sent some footage for you to see what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, some estimates are that it was up to 155-mile-per-hour winds. Did it ever get that windy near you?
It was downgraded to probably Category 1 by the time it hit me because it had all that land to travel over by the time it got here. So thankfully not that bad, but we did have some pretty good gusts.
You have Powerwall as well. How did everything hold up for you?
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome, I have to say. I've been through some storms in the past where I've gone without power for a week. Even the power pole snapped in my front yard at one point. So, and I'm last in line in the power grid for this side of the neighborhood. So having the power walls, having the solar system this time around, that peace of mind in itself was great. And it kicked in. It ran on battery for 18 hours. So I was able to run everything in the house. It's a whole house system. So I basically was able to do everything as normal. The only thing that really affected me was the internet outage that I experienced. And I'm in a gully here, so I didn't have much cell phone coverage either.
And you don't have Starlink yet?
No.
Oh, I thought you did for some reason. No.
No, it's apparently on the list of things now. My neighbor who just got the Tesla panels installed, he's got 2 Powerwalls as well. Ordered Starlink for himself for an RV trip he's doing, and he managed to get it working from his house in the meantime. So it worked out pretty well for him. And knowing that, I said, it's got to be a backup plan for internet as well.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you have the roof, but you don't have Starlink. What the heck? That's wild.
I know. Well, because I was living in Italy the last 3 years, was not an opportunity for me to get it.
So Bob says he's had his Tesla Solar Roof for just almost a year in November, and he's already getting to see how it performs in some major weather. Very, very sad what is going on with this hurricane, but I wanted to reach out and give you guys this update since so many of you asked me exactly what is going on with his roof. Some of you were kind of skeptical about how it would perform, and I know for sure those with the Powerwall are also very grateful. He's had power the entire time, which is just remarkable to think about. There were some photos of like the Powerwall completely that had been submerged underwater, and they not only survived but like performed. Like Is that just crazy to you?
That is pretty crazy. I think I caught another YouTuber talking about it yesterday, Rob Maurer on Tesla Daily, uh, and there were some pictures to go with it. So
Yeah.
I can't believe that the system was able to withstand that.
Remind me, how long, like, are you used to this Florida weather?
Yeah, I mean, I'm born and raised in Florida, so this is nothing new for me. I mean, then 2004, 2005, when those three storms came through, I was without power for a week each one.
So this has just
And
got to be so amazing to know that you're not going to be in that situation again.
yeah, I definitely am very happy and pleased with that. I mean, that's one of the things I love about it, and one of the things I've been delaying on doing for so many years, and just because this reason or that reason, or I can go a week without power, but in the middle of July, in the middle of August, when you get to the point of you can't be in your own house and you got to camp out in the front yard in a hammock, it's time to do something different.
Yeah. What about
so,
your neighbors? Do they have any power or no way?
so with that outage, we had about 24 hours without power. So I had the windows open because it actually got to like 66, 67 degrees down here after the storm, and I hear generators going. So yeah, everybody was without power for that time frame, and then you're hearing people having to fart with it, trying to get it started all over again when it runs out of gas
But
and all
you
that.
had it the whole time?
Yep,
That's
I had power.
crazy.
And overnight, I only used about 10% of it. So I was able to get my usage down, shutting down all the equipment and everything I had to about 400 to 600 watts in the whole house. So even with all that and the battery backup being charged up before the storm on grid, so it did that in preparation for the storm, I was able to survive overnight. Power went out at like midnight. I didn't even realize it. Uh, the only thing I would have to address is the internet connection. When it went out, I wasn't able to connect to the power walls and see how much usage I had used or what I had left. So
Oh.
it was a little
Oh.
rough. There was some photos I sent you. There was a time where it said I had 76% battery, but only 1 hour of backup. Or it was really critically low and you better shut down everything or you're going to lose power. But when it restored the internet connection briefly in between uh, clouds, it said, "No, you're good," and it's even charging. In the middle of the
Wow.
storm, it was charging my house or generating enough energy for the house and charging the battery.
That's crazy.
So it went from 76% usage overnight to back to 85% by the end of the day. So, and we were only without power for a day this time, thankfully.
So you think that, a power wall is a great investment for someone in Florida?
100%. There's no way around it. I mean, I wouldn't go back to generator ever again. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. I mean, really,
Yeah, totally. That's
even
awesome.
with them being outside, like you said, I mean, they weathered the storm just fine.
And you said that you had some people come to stay with you that are displaced?
Yeah, unfortunately, a coworker of mine lives near a river,
Oh,
and it was backing up into the back of her house and into her street. So they were all required to evacuate, and I just had her come over and stay with me for the morning until she managed to get a hotel for her three kids, a husband, and two dogs.
now I understand like most of the damage kind of has been in the Fort Myers area. How far away are you from that?
Uh, they're on the other side of the coast, so it's a good 2 to 3 hours
Okay.
down to them. But it seems most of the aftermath is after the storm with the rising waters in the river, because
Uh,
even yesterday during the storm, her neighborhood was fine. But
wow.
with the river rising now, she had to get out
Oh
two
my
days after.
gosh. Wow.
Yeah. So and it's causing a lot of trouble for a lot of people who live around the rivers because it's expected to rise. I can't complain. A lot of people are talking about return on investment and how much money it cost it, but it's the peace of mind at this point. When you're in a situation like this and you get storms on a regular basis, I mean, not really regular, but enough to be a problem. I mean, I just got it installed in November and I'm already experiencing it my first year of how good it's doing for me. So I
Wow.
can't complain. I
That's
can't complain.
wild. No, I'm so glad
Yeah.
you're okay. We were just there.
Yeah.
I was
I
just
know.
there making
And that's,
rooftop video, man.
I know it's nuts. And the storm isn't even like a week old and
Yeah.
it got here and built up that fast.
Yeah. Scary.
So yeah, it was totally unexpected. Really, I thought for sure this late in the game we wouldn't have to worry about it, but
And remind
it's
me, you have two power walls, right?
two power walls. Yep,
Power.
10 kilowatt system. So yeah, I was able to, on a good day, it generates 7.5 kilowatt peak time.
Okay.
But again, I was only using about zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6 kilowatts. And today I actually backfed to the grid because the power walls were full
Wow.
and they didn't have anywhere else to go. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I didn't know you could do that.
yeah.
So cool.
Finally, I think that's actually the first time.
Oh, wow.
Again, it was all of the uh, usage in the house with
Yeah.
the computer equipment we were running all
Yeah.
got shut down for the storm. So
Right. Oh, that makes sense. Wow. Okay. What the heck?
yeah,
Wow. Well, thank you for doing this quick call. I
yeah,
really
sure
appreciate
thing.
it. I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.